Good morning, Jana.
Hello.
Our little session today is all about not quitting. We touched on it yesterday in the course of our chat, but we thought we'd make a big stand on not quitting. I noticed that lovely actor Idris Elba has done his version of Don't Quit, which is
Okay.
lovely. And I know it features in an advert. I have been trying to find it. As soon as I spot it, I will. Clearly, it's struck a chord with everybody. And it's amazing that I should find this poem just a few weeks ago in my auntie's uh, book, and never heard of it before. And now it's all over the place. And you featured it on Facebook this week. Out of
Yeah.
the blue.
It came to me. I open my eyes. First thing I do, I check my mobile and my Facebook, and first thing which popped out was a Don't Quit poem. And I thought, okay, let's have a look. I think people need to hear that. I went through it. I really liked it. You don't always like all poems, and this one was spot on in everything,
Yeah.
language and the feel and everything. And I thought this is brilliant. So I started posting it, and it got quite a following. People quite
So
liked it.
the essence of the poem is that no matter what life throws at you, and it could be financial, whatever it is, you mustn't quit, because quite often people are on the verge of quitting when they have a moment where suddenly all their hard work pays off. And there've been inventors in the past that have done exactly that.
Yes, exactly. And it's, Thomas Edison, we talked about him previously. Same thing. You don't know when it's going to come, but if you persevere, it will. It's almost as if it was a law. You just need to hang in there and keep doing what you're doing, and have faith and knowing that it's going to happen, and it will. It's based on quantum physics and neuroscience. This is how success is built, literally. You wish for something, you stick to it, you do whatever you need to do to get it. Sometimes there's going to be turbulences, but you get through it because you have goal and you believe you can achieve it, and it will happen. And the funniest thing is that people usually, it's almost, it's statistically given, people give up like 1, 2, or 3% when they only have that much left to achieve something. So they're close to their goal 95, 98, 99%, and then they give up. And if they just hanging there for one day, 1 week, 1 month, they'd have what they want. And that's just such a pity to observe when that happens.
It is, and I imagine there are probably people in lockdown at the moment who are trying to think what to do, and they're dipping into old thoughts that they've had, old products that maybe they were thinking of producing, ideas, dipping into those ideas, and it's worth revisiting them in case they are the ones that would have actually done well if only they hadn't quit.
Yeah, I know. And it doesn't mean this is a very interesting theory. This is very interesting to understand. If something doesn't work and you keep doing the same thing over and over, thinking I'm doing exactly what Jana said, I have perseverance, that's not what it's meant. If something doesn't work for long term, it's a signal that you need to change something. You need to tweak something. So you do. And then, but you keep going until you figure out what's wrong with what you're doing, and until you get the result you want. That's what it's meant by perseverance. It doesn't mean that you'll keep doing the same mistake for another 30 years and hope that all of a sudden a miracle will appear and something will happen and it's going to work. That's not how it works. If something doesn't work for 3, 6 months, that clearly means that you're not doing something right. If it could be advertising in business, it could be SEO in business. In real life, it could be I'm texting him too much, or it could be anything. Whatever doesn't work, you need to tweak and change and wait for different results. And the results are either great and you stick with it, or are still not fantastic and you keep tweaking until you get what you want. That's what they mean by perseverance. They don't mean keep doing the same mistake over and over.
Right. Okay, that is a really important message. I've got a tickle in the
You do. So I'll keep talking. You have tickle in the throat.
I've got to
Yeah,
quit.
this is the most important thing I could advise to anyone. You do not quit. But I love the Einstein quote, who said the definition of insanity is keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. No, if you want different results, you need to change something. You need to maybe change you, or your perception, or your marketing, or your secretary, or whomever, whatever is not working. You change that, and see if you can get a better result. And it's a continuous change which gets you.
Actually, maybe tomorrow we can talk about, I do something called Power of One, where I highlight people that I admire from history, or people that I know who are the power of one. And there is a little story that, I'd like to dip into, that shows how the abolitionists, the people that were trying to anti-slavery, they had dogged determination, but for years and years and years they got nowhere until they changed their way of getting the message across.
Yes.
And so they had the same message, but they just had to do it a bit differently. And so maybe I can air that tomorrow.
Yes, exactly. It's always about tweaking. It's always about tweaking, finding a different route to what you want. There's billions of different ways to get what you want, but you just need to find the one which actually works.
And Edison and his light bulb moment.
Light bulb moment, yeah.
So it's well known then that he was trying to do it, but almost gave up then.
He's the best example of everyone, I think. He had 10,000 attempts to invent a light bulb. And he never said it was a failure. He said 10,000 ways of being successful. So, that's the attitude. You mustn't perceive it as a failure. Only successful people perceive failure as something to learn from, to get better and succeed faster. They don't use the word failure. It's just a learning. And if you have this attitude, you can accomplish anything.
And of course, there's some very well-known entrepreneurs who have had failed businesses, but they've learned from those failed businesses. It's not that they're failures, it's just that, okay, that one didn't work, and they've moved on.
The best example of someone we all know, whatever we think about him politically, is Donald Trump. He was a billionaire. He lost everything, probably had $100 in his pocket. And in 1 year, he was a billionaire again, because mindset, he will not give up, and this is how success is built. Just giving up or quitting is not optional.
Well, we could go on about that gentleman forever, I think.
He's talking business.
Well, yes, I think he's made another blunder today. But anyway, we'll get over that one. And he did, of course, have a daddy that was very wealthy and had built up a business.
Yeah, but he didn't get money from his dad. He literally is self-made. He might have had some contacts, but he never got any money from his father. So it is, it's through. And even if he had money, and that helped him to be a billionaire, and he lost it just because of the money, he wouldn't make $1 billion again in a year or two. That's not. You need to have a mindset of not giving up, because otherwise no money or no connections will ever help you.
Well, I can see why you chose that poem and why it was so important. And yeah, we're airing it today. It's a poem that was written in Victorian times and is striking a big chord now. So well done for highlighting.
Wonderful, thank you. And maybe we can show everyone what we were talking about. Exactly. It would be lovely.
Yeah.
At the end of the video, and we'll catch up tomorrow again for our little chat.
We will. Bye now.
Okay,
bye.
Bye.